Hey, thanks for stopping in. I've been thinking about this, or I've been, in a sense, thinking about it for a while, but looking back at my life and seeing how things progressed and how things turned out, I have to say, life is a process, what I'm saying? We start somewhere and we end up a different place. Because for me, the example that I have is I've always been artistic and I've always been able to draw. And whether it was looking at something and drawing it or taking it from my head and able to draw it, I've always been able to do that. And whether you call that a skill or a talent, like I said, I was able to do it. But over the years, I've gotten better. And so I wanted to find out why that was, or how that is, or how to better explain that. And so in today's video, I'm going to emphasize one point or one simple method that you can use to, in a sense, get better at whatever it is that you're looking to do, create in your life. Hey, Mark Johnson here, founder and creative director of Ablaze Studios, back with another vlog. In today's vlog, I'm going to be talking to you about the book by Cal Newport entitled So Good They Can't Ignore You. But first, if you like this video, definitely give it a thumbs up. If you like what I'm doing on the channel, subscribe. If you end up having a question or a comment or maybe something that you would like to share, definitely leave that in the comment box below. And also don't forget to ring that bell so that you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. So let's get back to it. As I mentioned, we'll be talking about a book by Cal Newport entitled So Good They Can't Ignore You. In this book, Mr. Newport talks about how skills trump this idea of being passionate about what you do. And as he talks about this book, he kind of explains one thing that I'm going to share with you today. But also to remind you, this has also been one of the books that I've reviewed on this channel. And so you can find that, a link to that in the description box below, or you can click here. So this is definitely a book I recommend people reading. It could be for anyone in creative, non-creative business or industry. So moving along, the idea that I want to share with you from this book, So Good They Can't Ignore You by Cal Newport, is this idea of the craftsman mindset. There wasn't a succinct passage that I could read here or recite to you to kind of give you a better idea of what I'm talking about. But in a sense, so the craftsman mindset is the ability to take something you know little about or nothing about, but have an interest in it enough to stick to a regularly focused repetitions of doing this task or exercise, so that over time you will have confidently grown to master it or do it at a high level. An example of that would be, let's say, someone who wants to play the guitar. Okay, they maybe have friends or family members who do play the guitar, so they know something about it, but they couldn't tell you everything about it, and they couldn't really actually give you a good chord or play a couple chords or put a couple chords together and make a nice little riff. They couldn't do that, but they're interested, so they put forth the effort to research it or to get involved into a class, watch a couple YouTubes on playing the guitar, or just find ways to self-teach themselves to play the guitar. What do you think is going to happen over time if they stay focused and regularly put the effort in to practicing guitar? Over time, they're going to get better. Over time, they're going to get to a point where they know more than one chord. Now they can play 3 chords, 4 chords. Now they can put melodies together. Now they can put together a song. So again, this happens over time. You're not going to start there, but over time, with repetition and focus and being able to see the progress that you're making, you'll get to a point where you're confident enough into it that you can do more than just play one chord. That's what the craftsman mindset looks like. I can give you a personal example of this, and it would be when I was in school, junior college, I had an interest in writing. I didn't think I would become a writer or anything like that, but I was interested in writing screenplays and doing those kind of things. So in a sense, writing for movies or film. And so I set out to do that just by taking classes. In one of the classes, was just a creative writing class, I got a compliment from the professor, and simply saying that I possibly could have a future in or as a writer. So I took that to heart. But as I moved on through the rest of my schooling, I took different paths. I didn't necessarily stick to writing, but I went on different paths. But I ended up coming back around. And as I came back around and realizing that this could be a very good option for me in my position, I set forth and started researching it. I read as many books as I could. One of them was On Writing, which I've done a book review on this channel. Another one was Bird by Bird, which I've also done a book review on this channel. And through that research and just kind of just writing on my own, one of the things that I would do to write on my own would be looking online and finding writing prompts, and then just taking those writing prompts and use those to create my writing process for every day. So the prompt would tell me to write about poker. So I'd write about, what I know about poker, or put poker into a story, or, just do something that involved poker. So through that process, it helped me develop my writing to where I'm here now. Writing YouTube videos, and I'm posting the content online. I've also got the opportunity to write for a magazine, and that's a periodic thing, but as assignments are available, I get the opportunity to do that. So I've gotten to a point in my writing that I'm confident in it. I'm confident enough to write this YouTube video. I'm confident enough to write for the magazine that I've been able to write to. I'm so confident in my writing that I've entered my first screenplay writing competition this year. And so through the process of just kind of working myself and reworking, I would say I mastered it, but I feel definitely confident enough to do the things that I'm doing and reaching for more. As I look back for where I was, just that simple compliment that I could possibly be a writer, I'm at this point where I'm in a sense being a writer. So that's what I'm talking about, the craftsman mindset. It's a process of putting yourself in a position to learn and become better, so that at a certain point you can possibly master whatever it is that you're looking to do. To further explain Cal Newport's idea of the craftsman mindset, in the sense that if you don't see it already, you'll see it now, in the sense that how he became upon the idea is obviously he researched a lot of people from a lot of different industries and avenues, all to kind of get this idea of the craftsman mindset. The other thing that he did, or ended up happening, is that he had watched, or was watching, an interview, Charlie Rose. And Charlie Rose was interviewing Steve Martin. And the topic came up of how he gives people who want to be comedians or just want to be famous like how he is, he asks them how they do, how it happens, how this happens. And so at a certain point, many of the people that are asking him this question are looking for a blueprint, or looking for a bigger answer. And the answer that Steve Martin would always give is to become so good they can't ignore you. And obviously that became the book, or the title for the book Cal Newport had. But in a sense, this idea of becoming so good that they can't ignore you speaks to this idea of the craftsman's mindset, which I'm sharing with you today. So Cal Newport gives us this last little line to kind of hang on to, and it says, if you're not becoming so good they can't ignore you, you're going to be left behind. That's so true, because at a certain point, if you're not always trying to better yourself, what it is you're doing, someone else is going to pass you by. Someone who's actually trying to put in the effort and trying to make themselves become better will pass you up. So it behooves you to make yourself as best as you can possibly. Obviously, if you are someone that's trying to get noticed, that's definitely good advice, to get noticed in whatever industry you're in. If it's, writing, if it's athletics, if it's, business, you got to become so good they can't ignore you, and that's how you get noticed. So my point here is this: if we all can take the craftsman's mindset to heart and start doing things with that kind of mindset, over time, each of us can become our own masters. We can become so good at it that they can ignore us, that they will have to deal with us and see us in a way that is different than someone starting out, or someone who's been stagnant or stayed stagnant. So that has been my video today. Hopefully my point that I shared with you has helped you in some way. And again, if you like this video, definitely give it a thumbs up. If you like what I'm doing with the channel, definitely subscribe. And if you have a comment or a question or something you would like to add to this, definitely leave that in the comment box below. I'd love to start a conversation. And lastly, if you want to be continually updated on posts that I drop, definitely ring that bell. So, like we always do at this time, have a blessed day. See you on the flip side. Let's go.